Hello and welcome back to Insure Wealth. I'm Michelle Suskauer along with our expert, Howard Kaye. Hey, Howard.
Hi, Michelle. It's good to be with you today.
It's great to have you. Now, Howard, I know you're an insurance advisor and you're also someone who wants to educate people on how to grow and create wealth.
Well, that's why we're doing this program, really so that I can bring some facts to people so that they can make wise, strategic decisions as to what to do to ensure wealth for their families and their favorite charities.
Now, I've heard you talking about how people can have a guaranteed stream of income, how someone can win but not lose. Now, that sounds fantastic to me, but can that really happen?
Well, it may be very difficult to comprehend or grasp, but it's true. It's legitimate, and it's been around for a long time, and it's called a fixed index annuity.
Okay. Now, first of all, let's back up. Some people may not know what an annuity is, so define that for us.
An annuity. Let me talk directly to you at home. An annuity is a contract between you and an insurance company. The company promises to make periodic payments to you, starting either right away or at some future time that's specified. Now, annuities have been around for a very long time. I mean, I'm talking about going back hundreds of years, and they've been available in this country since the mid-1750s, some of our researchers have shown.
Even before the Declaration of Independence?
Well, apparently.
Okay, now how does an annuity work?
Well, Michelle, there are a number of different types of annuities. So let's
break them down.
Okay, the first type of annuity, an immediate annuity. An immediate annuity is when you get a guaranteed series of payouts. So in other words, you give an insurance company a sum of money and they promise to pay you for the rest of your life or over a 20-year period of time or a 15-year period or a 10-year period and so on and so on.
Okay.
The next type of annuity, a fixed annuity, is where you get a guaranteed interest rate for a specific number of years. And in this example, you're protected from the fluctuations of the stock market.
Which we know fluctuate.
And this has nothing to do with the market. It's just the insurance company. You know what it's like? It's almost like buying a CD from an insurance company or a money market account. They guarantee you this interest rate over this period of time, and that's it.
Okay.
The next type of annuity is what we call a variable annuity.
It changes.
Well, no, a variable, yes, it certainly changes. A variable annuity is predicated on the markets and different funds that you can invest your money in. A variable annuity allows you to have an annuity, but where you direct where the money is to go. And you can make a lot of money and you can lose a lot of money because it's in the market.
It's risky.
It can be risky.
Okay.
Okay? Now, finally, the one annuity that we're going to be discussing today is the fixed indexed annuity.
Okay.
And that's what has all these different features that we will discuss throughout the show.
Okay, so it begs the question, what is a fixed index annuity?
Well, the fixed index annuity is probably the fastest growing type of annuity, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it's conservative. I want you all at home to understand this. Many people have misconceptions about annuities. So when I'm looking into that camera, I'm talking to you so you understand that you should eliminate all these preconceptions that you may have. Don't prejudge. Listen with application and see why this might be a strategy that works for you.
Okay.
So first of all, like I said, it's a conservative financial strategy and the program for retirement money. And it has some tremendous advantages that other annuities just do not have.
Like what?
Well, very simple. It creates a guaranteed stream of income that you can't outlive. Now, there are annuities, like we said earlier, the immediate annuity that will do that, but you give up your principal. In this example, you can actually have principal. If you pass away early, your family will receive what's left. If you have taken more income, because you've lived a long time, then there may not be principal. It's all predicated on how much income you've taken. But it's income that you can't outlive, and that's very important, and that comes within a fixed indexed annuity.
Okay.
Another benefit is it protects you from any downside risk, meaning you can only make money, but you can't lose money based on different indexes that are included within the fixed index annuity. And then there is one last major advantage. There are certain annuities that actually have a death benefit on top of the annuity.
So you get more than what you're bargained for, really.
Absolutely.
So where's the downside? I mean, there doesn't seem to be a downside to this type of annuity.
Well, there's always a downside to something, depending upon who you're speaking with. For the person that says they're used to making 10% on their money, the downside in this program is you're not going to make 10% most probably.
Okay.
Maybe you'll make 2, 3, 4, or 5%. On the other hand, another person might look at it and say, I don't want risk. So if you can show me that I have the ability to make X without taking any risk at all, that's a plus for me. So it depends who. But is there a downside? Well, I don't know how else to say it. I'm sure there's a downside somewhere.
Right.
Could an insurance company go belly up? Well, it's really never happened to the detriment of the insured, but sure, anything's possible. Could the market go down year in and year out and you make 0% on your money? Sure, that's a possibility.
But wait a second, the person who said, well, I don't want to do this type of annuity because they're used to making 10%, but not consistently. I mean,
listen,
who's making it? I mean, it would be wonderful if you knew that you were going to be making 10% consistently.
Correct, but everyone has their own story. You know, the other day I was talking with some people about bonds, and I asked a group of people who in the room has recently bought a 5% AAA insured bond. And this one woman raised her hand.
Okay.
Now, I was simply asking the question to prove a point of something. What was the point? She raised her hand and she says to me, well, I did. I said, really? I said, well, you should give everybody in the room that person's phone number, that broker, because that's incredible. I said, did you pay a premium? She says, no. I said, you didn't pay. So in other words, you just put money in, you got 5%? She said, that's right. And what I was going to say, and I said to her with no disrespect, I always find that people that are bond buyers don't always tell it exactly like it is.
Okay.
They kind of get into, they're embarrassed if it didn't, if it's not exactly what they think it should be. What do I mean? Well, 3 minutes later, she said, under her breath, in this room of people, they're not AAA insured.
Okay. So she was backpedaling a little.
Oh, they're not. She goes, no, they're single A. And I did pay a premium. And I said, you know, it's funny. I said, why? She says, well, when you ask the question, I wouldn't want to appear as if I wasn't able to buy such a good bond, so I wouldn't want to say that I only got 4%.
So basically, no one in the room had that experience of buying a AAA.
Of course not.
Of course not.
But this is what her reality is. This is her perception and her reality. So when we start discussing the fixed indexed annuity, when she's thinking to herself, well, I don't even know if I can get 5%, I can do that in my bonds, somebody had to point out to her, really? Can you really? She thinks in her mind she can, but she realized once it's discussed, she can't do that. So the fixed indexed annuity offers all of these benefits that we've discussed, the tax deferred growth, that there's income that you can't outlive, wonderful accumulation, safety, gains without losses, and the one last thing was the death benefit.
Okay.
And the death benefit is very important. Why? Because there are many people that are unable to obtain life insurance.
All right, so let's talk about that, about the people who have issues. Now, let's say someone wants to buy life insurance, but they've had surgeries, they've had health issues, and there are a lot of people who are watching who fall into this category. They may not be able to qualify for a regular life insurance policy. So let's talk about how that fixed index annuity can help them.
Absolutely. This is not to replace what life insurance can do, but it's the next best alternative.
Okay.
If you're unable to obtain the insurance. And I'm not saying this is the reason why somebody would purchase annuity. This is just some of the bells and whistles that come with it.
Right.
There are certain programs where there is what they call a death benefit rider. And what that means is there is a fee that the annuity company will charge within your account value, but they add a certain percentage to your accumulation account every year, compounding.
Okay.
So that ultimately when you die, not only do you get what your true value of the annuity is,
You get a little more,
you get a little more.
which is wonderful.
And unlike life insurance, it is taxable because annuities are taxable ultimately when the monies are distributed. So let's not confuse the audience. A death benefit on an annuity doesn't mean it's tax-free like life insurance. It doesn't mean you get the same kind of leverage as life insurance, but it's just that there is a little extra, if you will, for someone's family.
Again, this is another vehicle that you can use in order to try to preserve wealth for yourself, for your family, for your charities.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, let's get into some of the intricacies. We talked about the income for annuities, so I want people to understand this. When a person retires or is about to retire, it's time to look at the possible innovative solutions that can guarantee a lifetime of income, because people want to make sure they can't outlive this.
Right.
Well, most people who retire are concerned that they will outlive their money, and that is not a good situation. What the fixed indexed annuity can provide is annual or monthly guaranteed income for as long as the person lives. And if they want to structure it on a joint payout basis, where it's for you and your spouse, you can. There is an annual or monthly guaranteed income for the life of the spouse as well.
So how much do you get?
Well, the amount depends on a few factors. Number one, the amount of the premium that was used to purchase the annuity.
Okay.
Number two, the timing of when you want the income to begin. In other words, are you looking to accumulate money for 5 years or 10 years or 15 years? Number three, what was the crediting rate of that annuity? In other words, there was interest that you've been accumulating, and then with these income riders, they give you a bonus, just like I discussed about the death benefit.
Right.
There's like a bonus that goes on top of that. So it depends what interest you've been earning, how much they're also putting on top of that to grow, and again, over what period of time. Are you waiting 5 years or 8 years or 10 years?
So you could really customize this as to really what you need.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Then the next question, do you want this on a single life, or as I said earlier, a joint life?
Right.
All of these factors are going to determine what the income is going to be. However, when somebody looks into this with a professional, they will know exactly what they're going to be able to receive at any given time, because you can show a consumer an illustration that will show, based on the amount of money they want to put in, exactly what the income riders will provide, whether it's, like I said, 1 year, 5 year, 10 years, or any there in between. And it will show, based on what age you are, exactly what income. So if you say, I want to wait till I'm 60 years old now, and I want to wait till I'm 68, we can look exactly on the chart and tell you, this is how much income you'll get for the rest of your life.
Okay, Howard, so there's no guesswork. It's not if, I hope so, I wish. You really can see what it's going to be. There's some definitive part of this. It's comforting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, there's another advantage that I'd like to bring up that we have not discussed, and that's long-term care. Many people have discussed the long-term care markets, and you've got two groups of people. Our age, which hopefully people are looking into long-term care, but in the senior market, many people feel that they have reached an age where it's just too expensive to buy long-term care.
Okay.
Why is it important that we bring this up? Because these annuities offer long-term care features.
Okay, and this is crucial because, I mean, I know from my own family, this is critical that we have that type of insurance for my parents. So tell me what type of features are offered.
Well, when you are receiving the income, at some point, if you cannot complete 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, what they call the ADLs.
Okay.
That's when long-term care kicks in. Well, what some companies will do is they will double your income for 5 years. Wow. So if you are receiving $20,000 a year for life, all of a sudden you'll start receiving $40,000.
Now, this is not a substitute for long-term care insurance, or is it?
Well, I don't want to say it's a substitute, but
Okay.
it's something, I think it's more the way people are shifting. Annuities and life insurance policies are now offering riders, which are benefits to their plans that include long-term care.
Because people are living longer.
Well, they're living longer, and traditional long-term care policies where you purchase a specified amount of money to receive per day
Yes.
has gotten to be so expensive, and each year the rates keep going up, that people have chosen not to purchase in many instances. Here's a way that they're just getting it with these products that they're purchasing. So it doesn't necessarily answer the total question of long-term care, but it certainly helps to know that, God forbid, I am in this position, somebody, in this case the annuity company, is helping me out and doubling my income for a period of time.
Well, I like the fact that there's now a focus, or the trend toward a focus, because it is very sensitive to the fact that we are aging, that the care will be incredibly expensive. It could completely wipe out everything that you have, and to be able to have that peace of mind that you're going to be able to be taken care of if you can't do those life activities.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'd also like to talk about, without getting specifics into how each of these products work, again, as we said in the beginning, what are the goals of people and what are they trying to accomplish? And when people start looking at annuities, especially the fixed index annuity, you're really looking for something that provides what? Safety.
Right.
In real estate, what do they say? Location?
Location, location.
Well, safety, safety, safety. That's
Right.
the number one concern.
Right.
So we want to know that these programs offer safety. We want to know that they offer growth. We want to know that they offer income. We want to know that they offer liquidity. We want to know that there's some long-term care benefit, there's some death benefit
Right.
potentially, and so on.
And the fixed index annuity does offer these things.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to give you some examples
Okay.
of different situations. You'll see exactly how they work. In this first example, a woman, let's call her Mrs. Madison. She's 55 years old. She needs a fixed annual income when she retires, which she plans to do in 15 years at the age of 70. She has most of her retirement money in CDs, and she's worried because interest rates right now are so low that she wants to find an alternative source of income. So after she gets some more information from an insurance professional, and you do want to talk to a professional, by all means, she buys a fixed indexed annuity and gets with it a guaranteed lifetime withdrawal rider.
What is that? What is a withdrawal rider?
Well, this is what we've been discussing, the income that you can't outlive.
Okay.
It's a rider that's optional, okay? And it can only be used for lifetime income. It is not available for a lump sum. But what it does do, it gives her is the absolute assurance that she can look forward to a long life without the concern that she might someday outlive her income, which is the greatest fear that anyone has.
Sure, absolutely. But earlier you mentioned that there's a death benefit for beneficiaries of people who may be in poor health, they're deemed uninsurable as a result, and they can't buy any life insurance.
Well, yes, that is what I said, and here is how. Let's take the case of someone, we'll call Mr. Jackson, age 60. His health is not good, and he cannot buy any life insurance, but he wants to leave something to his children. So what he can do is buy the fixed indexed annuity with a death benefit rider. Before we talked about the income rider, now a death benefit rider. And what is this? If he should pass away, and sooner or later, we all do, we know that, his children will get a death benefit. For example, if he bought the annuity for $500,000, his children may receive the death benefit with a maximum payout of up to $1.5 million. While he's alive, he can use his account value
Okay.
to watch it grow, or if he wants income, he can take it. Now, obviously, if he takes income, that will reduce
Of course.
the value,
Sure.
which will reduce the death benefit, but the death benefit is a greater sum than what the account value will show.
Right, but he has the option of doing either. So he could, if he wants to take out money, he can take out money.
Absolutely.
So, now let's look at someone who has a large net worth and wants to accumulate more money on a tax-deferred basis. Does the fixed indexed annuity do that? Do anything for that type of person?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, how does turning $1 million into $4.5 million sound? Is that not tremendous accumulation?
Yes, it sounds fantastic. So
Okay.
tell us about it.
Well, there's a few things. You know, first off, many people have always thought annuities were for people that needed money, needed the income, or was going to need to supplement their retirement one day. And the market was not geared for the high net worth individuals. And I've looked at it and said, why not? We are all the same with certain basic needs, which is all of us wants a certain level of safety. All of us wants certain guarantees,
Right.
rich or poor. So why isn't this great? Why aren't annuities great for the wealthy person if they provide what you need them to provide? So the answer is yes, for accumulation, it's excellent. Let's use this story as an example. Mr. Monroe, we'll call him, is 70 years of age, and he's well off, but he wants to get more on a tax-deferred basis. So here's how he can turn $1 million into $4.5 million. He puts $1 million into the fixed index annuity. He decides to use the S&P 500 account and what we call the non-correlated index account. And he looks over the past results and sees the best 20-year period. It showed an annual return of approximately 7%. Now, or 7.5%, I should say. That has nothing to do with what's going to be going forward.
Okay.
Please understand. I'm just telling you what he looked at and what was published.
Right.
And he realized if he had taken that million and he were to make what it listed, that would have grown to $4.5 million.
Okay.
So the answer is, it puts him in a position of tremendous growth. Ultimately, it will be taxable at death, but tremendous growth, but no risk of losing along the way. And what's the worst case in his situation? The worst case is if he didn't make what the best returns were, he made less.
He made
I
less.
guess it wasn't for him. Maybe it's 3.5 or 3 million.
Right, but the risk is still controlled.
Yes.
Okay, which is the
risk
whole.
is controlled. It's safety of principal, it's income, it's accumulation, it's liquidity.
He can't lose, he can only win. I like that.
Yes, as long as the insurance company is safe, solvent, and functioning beautifully.
Right. Howard, I hear a lot of talk about bonuses on fixed index annuity accounts. What is all of that about?
Good point. We have not talked about bonuses. Insurance companies selling annuities like to, I shouldn't say what they do is they give you a bonus.
Okay.
You know, they want your money. Okay.
And that's an incentive.
It's an incentive.
Okay.
So there are some companies that may pay a 5% bonus. There are some that do a 7%, 8%, 9%. Typically, it's money paid up front into your account. You put $100,000 in, there may be $108,000 right away. Does that mean you could take the money out? No.
Okay.
Because there's surrender charges. Insurance company's not stupid. But for purposes of growth over time, once the surrender period is over.
And how long is that? Does that depend?
It depends on the company. Most companies are in the 10-year range.
Okay.
But there are some products that offer other riders, like a surrender option rider, where you could get out after 3 years. So it just really depends. That's why you need to talk to a professional and design the annuity to your specifications.
Because one size does not fit all.
Correct.
Okay, all right. Could you sum up for us, because I know we've talked about a lot of information about fixed index annuities. Can you sort of sum those up for us?
The fixed index annuity, what does it offer? It offers wonderful safety. It offers participation as a measuring stick in the markets that you can earn, but you can't lose. Your principal can't go down. Your principal is guaranteed. There are certain fees that are associated with it.
Okay.
They're based on the riders that you buy. They offer income that you cannot outlive. They offer tremendous accumulation. If you're not interested in income, they offer death benefit riders that will give more upon death.
Right.
If you're not interested in that, they offer long-term care riders, which will increase your income if, in fact, you are unable to perform 2 out of the 6 activities of daily living. All of this said, they are secure products. So when somebody looks at their overall asset base and says, where am I putting money? This is not to move all your money. This is to take a piece of money and say, I know it's safe, secure, there's liquidity. Also, I'm able to take up to 10% a year out as a free withdrawal.
Again, also people in poor health, this is an option for them as well.
One last point as a caveat for younger people. There is a penalty if you take money out prior to age 59 and a half.
Okay.
So for younger people, it's a wonderful accumulation vehicle that ultimately they'll use the money, just not prior to age 59
And I think that's an important point. People
Very
need to know
important point,
about.
and sometimes we forget to mention. That's why I want to make sure we get it out.
No, absolutely. Now, everyone like you has particular questions and specific situations. So for more information about the fixed index annuity, 561-417-5883 and InsureWealthTV.com. Thank you, Howard.
Michelle, it's been my pleasure. And make sure next time you ask me about the Everything product. The Everything product is going to be an exciting show, and people are going to want to tune in for that.
They say you learn something new every day, and I learned so much this half hour, and I hope you did too. How there could be a death benefit for the families of people who are too ill to be insurable, how you can win but not lose, and how you don't have to worry about outliving your money. Wow. For more information, 561-417-5883 and InsureWealthTV.com. See you all next week. So long.